Yeah, all good. All good. Good morning. It's a beautiful spring morning here. I've just been for a few laps around, a nice, beautiful, peaceful walk. And if you look off in the distance, you can see the Pennines in that direction. And in that direction there, you can actually see the Manchester skyline, but obviously the sort of trees are in the way there. But if you go to a look out over there and look across, you can actually see the Manchester skyline. It's a beautiful day here, not a cloud in the sky. And I was doing a bit of reflecting on that moment just before kickoff. It's such an important moment. The moment the players, the footballers, just before that sort of kickoff, you got the nerves, the excitement, the tension. Now, how important it is for a footballer to ground themselves in that moment when the mind is wandering. It might be thinking about a past match, it might be thinking about the outcome. And all different things could be going through the player's mind. And I'm not here to give advice or make suggestions. I'm just sort of reflecting in terms of my own sort of anecdotal experiences of working with teams and players and how important it is to ground ourselves in the moment. And I sort of first learned about that concept many years ago in the early 90s when I was doing some Thai boxing training at the Mundine Gym in Everleigh Street. Me and my mate Jason would go down once or twice a week. We had a Thai boxer who'd sort of take us through training, and he kind of introduced me for pretty much the first time the concept of grounding yourself in the moment. I mean, the guy who trained us was incredible. He was amazing. He was from Thailand, and he was one of the trainers at the time at the Mundine Gym. And I learned so much from him. I used to go there to sort of, keep in shape and that sort of stuff. And it was fantastic. And he kind of introduced me to that sort of concept of being in that moment, grounding yourself. And for me, my thoughts are at that moment, just before you can sort of transfer that sort of concept to that moment before a kickoff in football where you're there, the tension, the anxiety, the nerves, you think about the outcome. And really the important things, you're in the here and now. And I think you can use kind of your senses to ground yourself in that moment. Like you're in that sort of on the pitch. I think it's useful to take 15, 20, 30 seconds to sort of, look around you and see what's around you. Scan the pitch. You can see the opposition players, their formation, your own players, the referee, the size of the pitch, the crowd, sort of visually you ground yourself in the moment. Feelings, you can feel your boots, you can feel your feet grounded on the floor at that point there. You can feel any sort of tension in the body and just breathe and nice and naturally. And also notice what you can hear. Perhaps you can hear the sound, you can hear maybe a gentle breeze, you can hear the crowd. You start to really ground yourself in that moment, really ground yourself in the moment. So when the whistle goes, you're ready. You're ready to start the game on the front foot, because that sort of sets the tone for the game. Obviously the game is not won and lost at that point there when the sort of whistle goes, but it kind of sets the tone to gain momentum, to be on it. You want to make sure that you're on it. And for me, I think it's a really powerful moment. And I think what's quite useful is to ground yourself in that moment, sort of notice what you see around you, notice what you hear and what you feel. And you could transfer that concept across to business. If you're going for an interview, a presentation, if you sort of, got an interview, or you can transfer it to sort of academia. If you've got going in for an exam and you've got sort of any nerves brewing type thing, just to sort of ground yourself in that moment and focus on the process and start getting yourself in the zone. But that's my take on it. As always, I'm not here to give anyone advice or make any suggestions. It's just my pure reflections anecdotally on my experiences. But it's always great to hear what your thoughts is on that, really. But I think that's such a crucial moment to ground yourself in that moment just before kickoff.